Instruction, golf news, equipment, travel, interviews, course profiles, and more. Your weekly fix of all things golf is about to begin. It's the Flagstick Podcast with your hosts, Jeff Potter and Scott McLeod.
And welcome to another episode of the Flagstick Podcast with myself, Jeff Potter, and the guy with me, Scott McLeod. The Flagstick Podcast this week is brought to you by the Canadian Pro Shop Online with amazing prices on all the latest brand name golf equipment, all in one convenient location online. It has never been easier to upgrade your game, whether it's drivers, irons, putters, or whatever your golf game needs. The Canadian Pro Shop Online has the best gear to help you play your best golf. Shop online today at CanadianProShopOnline.com. Before we get going here, just reminding everybody, as we always do, to follow us across all social media networks, Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok. Subscribe on Spotify, Audible, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. And we encourage you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like us, click the notification bell. Don't miss a single episode, and because you will miss stuff. All right. As you can hear, yeah, I know. I took a week off because literally I had no voice. So it would have been the Flagstick Podcast with Jeff Potter present, Scott McLeod talking.
Yeah, there you go.
Because I had no volume coming from me, and I guess you can hear that I don't really sound a whole lot better after a week.
I think you think in your head you sound worse than you do. I mean, yeah, definitely got a little bit deeper voice. I mean, did you get that for your birthday? Did you just get like a deeper voice for your birthday? That's how it worked out.
I don't know that I wanted it. It just kind of happened that way.
Okay.
I mean, I feel fine, but I think I'm a lot of stuff's been going on. I'm a little run down. I'm not getting a lot of sleep. So you kids out there, as Don Sherry would say, you kids out there, you make sure you get lots of sleep, lots of rest, drink lots of water, eat your vitamins.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
No, it's a little rough sounding, but I'm good.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, it's not like you're going to play a lot of outdoor golf anymore. We're pretty much close to the end of the season, so it's just off to the rinks.
It does seem that the majority of the notifications that I'm seeing are that most golf courses are shutting her down this weekend.
Yeah, it seems to be the case. I've got one more round tomorrow. I've got the annual Black Bear Scramble, which is going to be nice weather, and then all of a sudden things are going to plummet on Sunday. And there's definitely a lot of notices from a lot of golf courses that it seems that this weekend will be the last for a lot of them. A few staying open as far as, for members and things like that. There's a few courses that obviously stay open as long as they can here in the Eastern Ontario where we're located. But generally in the Northeast and if you look at west in Canada here, snow already in Alberta, Saskatchewan. So, I mean, yeah, the season is done there, but that gets us turning towards indoor season now.
Yeah.
Which
is great, sort of.
Yes, great, sort of, but certainly been active. Let people know, people are looking for indoor options. A lot of the places just don't open right away when we're talking about simulators, domes, all that sort of things. You'll see a lot of them starting to get open more like December-ish. Some of the indoor simulator places will be open very soon, but we are working on our annual guide for that. And I can tell you there's 60 plus locations that are on my radar right now. So
remember we used to do the winter golf when we were doing the print version of the magazine. We used to do the winter golf guide of all the indoor golf schools. And there might have been a list of
25 tops.
25, yeah. And they weren't, and they didn't all have simulators. Some of them were just indoor golf schools. Like the OAC for years had indoor golf schools. They didn't have simulators. No,
it was mostly just nets. A lot of places were just nets and a cage and whatever the case may be. But I would say now, I would say 90 to 95% of them are simulators now, or a location that has simulators as well. But
even our good buddy Andy McWilliams there at Celtic Golf Center in Kempville, he's got two new ones being added to his arsenal there, and Falcon Ridge just across the way from me here, our new back nine sponsor this week. They're open for indoor golf simulator. They have two TrackMan simulators and four But they have 2 track bands, I think, and 2 HDs.
I think they went 4 track bands.
Oh,
yes.
well, there you go.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So good for them.
Yeah.
And good for anybody that wants to play some golf out there.
Yeah. So that
pretty
directory,
awesome in this end of the city.
yeah, that directory, like I said, working on it right now, because there's some late additions, some people just getting some details and things ready. I would say give it another 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, and
Wow.
and we'll have it all ready to go, and we'll have that up on flagstick.com.
There you go. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Fun. All right, Sky Mac.
What else is going on, Jeff?
Well,
I
we
mean,
got a good show.
Your golf season was done.
Yeah, well, my golf season. Sometimes I don't think it ever gets started, but yeah, my golf season is over. I might do some indoor golf this year.
Nice.
You know, I just we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Your golf season never ends, right?
It does not one freaking bit, but that's all right. So
yeah, you can live with that. Good show this week. Obviously with a couple having missed last week, we got to get caught up on some news, some topics from Canadian professional golf as well as the amateur ranks. And a special treat on the back nine, we have a feature interview with Michelle Mulligan of Adidas Golf to bring us up to speed on some product development, especially for the cooler weather environments like ours. You did an interview with her out in Eastern Canada.
I did, down at Cabot Cape Breton.
And we've got that interview for you in the back nine. So
awesome.
Let's get at the front nine. Presented by Metcalf Golf Club, a natural setting, a pleasant challenge. Golf season is here, so don't wait. You can save on golf for next season. We'll say save on golf for next season.
Go.
Look at getting a membership. Sign up for one of their leagues. Get on the waiting lists and purchase some game packs, or go online and look at getting ready to stuff somebody's stocking, because that's coming up too. And then your golfer will have everything they need to hit the first tee in 2024 with big savings in the pocket. Visit metcalfgolf.com to shop now. Okay, let's get into some news and information. I'm going to let you do some talking, Scott, because my voice is already starting to go. But let's get on some regional news talk right off the top.
Yeah, I'll rip right through it here. Obviously, it's getting to the end of the fall college golf season, both in Canada and the US. Talking to a fair number of athletes and even some coaches yesterday. I was talking to Chris McDonald, the head coach at UBC. They just came back from Hawaii, but had some decent finishes of late for golfers from the Eastern Ontario region. Ottawa's Haley Yerxa continues to play well. She's at Georgia Southern. She just had a tie for 6th at the NCAA Edisto Island Invitational in South Carolina. That's her second top 10 of the fall. And then Ashley LaFontaine of Ottawa has been playing very solidly as well for Elon. She just picked up a T8 for her team as they won the Terrier Intercollegiate as well. So nice to see. Another quick regional one as well, heading away from the golf scene. Camelot has been working away on renovating their 11th hole. And
I saw some pictures there.
Yeah, we posted that up at flagstick.com. It's nearing completion. If people have not yet to visit the golf course as a guest or are a member there, it's a par 3 that sort of sits down in a gully, and it's always had issues with water running down the hillside and getting on the green and all sorts of things. And now they've got a larger green complex. It's further away from the hillside on the left. They've got 2 big mounds as well that help disperse the water away from the surface. So they've just got that surfaced now. They've got the turf and everything out there. So they'll be ready to go early in the springtime. And a few other golf courses. I think Nation is doing some renovations too. A few other ones. Canada's just redid their tee line down on the range. So yeah, you'll see some changes with a lot of local courses come springtime.
Cool. Now, obviously, if you're heading to the golf course, we talked about this off the top there. If you're thinking of heading to the golf course, do yourself a favor. Call ahead.
Yeah,
Check
exactly.
websites. Don't
Yeah.
just assume that you're going to be able to walk onto a golf course this time of year. There will be many that will be closed
Yeah.
after this weekend, and some that will remain open. So
Yeah, and
check
even the
those
ones
out.
that remain open, obviously, we're going to get frost delays. We're going to have weather
Yeah,
issues, things like that. So, you know, be prepared for it to be hit and miss here for a little while.
'tis the season now. The PGF Canada Ottawa Zone
Mm-hmm.
is going to will be hosting their annual awards banquet on November 7th at the Carlton Golf and Yacht Club.
Yep.
The entire list of nominees are for the finalists for the categories are on flagstick.com. So we won't get into listing all of the nominees for all of the
No,
categories.
it's
However,
nine categories there.
we
So,
will make mention on this podcast of our own Scott McLeod is being nominated as one of the finalists in the for the Coach of the Year
yeah.
category. That's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, it is.
Alongside of Derek McDonald
Yep.
and uh, Derek is obviously Derek and Scott are quite good friends and
Yep.
bounce a lot of ideas back and
Mm-hmm.
forth off each other with respect to teaching and coaching. So no
Yep.
surprise really that the two of them are nominated in that category. Who
Well,
will win? Who will
certainly,
win?
certainly appreciated. You know, he's up for Junior Lead of the Year as well. You know, again, it's not something that you go after, but it's nice to be recognized for sure. And that's a new category as well. Coach of the Year has not been awarded before in the Ottawa Zone. That's to align with the Nationals. The Nationals have had a Coach of the Year for quite some time, and that's a distinction a little bit different than teacher. People maybe, you know, they kind of wonder what's the difference in those two. um you know, generally the distinction really is just teachers. There's a lot of people that just do lessons more than anything, and it's just kind of one timers and stuff like that. Coach is more of the people that are involved in long-term coaching, working with athletes long-term over time, just like it would be in any type of other sport, as opposed to maybe a, you know, let's say if it's in hockey terms, somebody that would just show up and be a consultant and see your person for an hour and then you don't see them again. Coaches, these are more long-term relationships. And, you know, generally for you know, what I do from a teaching side of it, that's really what it's focused on. So yeah, no, it's a nice honor. Looking forward to it. Just happy to be on the podium. Not worried about you know, getting the gold medal, but it's just nice to be recognized by your peers. And certainly congratulations to all the nominees and all the
Yes.
finalists as well. So yeah, so 9 categories there. And like you say, they're all up on flagstick.com if you want to read who are all the finalists. And you know, we'll report back after the awards banquet.
Now we had 6 Canadians played in the stage 2 of the LPGA Tour qualifying
Yep.
recently as well. So I guess we could list them all, eh?
Yeah, we could. I mean, you know, Savannah Gruel was the only one to advance. She had actually won first stage as well. But Selena Costabile, and I'll mention Selena in a minute here. Savannah, Leah John, who's an amateur, she's still at UNLV, won twice this fall at UNLV. She just missed out getting through. Kate Johnson from Air Ontario, Tiffany Kong from Vancouver, and Bridget Thibault from Montreal. But yeah, Savannah tied for 6, had 16 birdies for the week.
Wow.
And she's looking very impressive. She's a grad student right now at Clemson. She got a tournament actually this week that they're headed to, so we'll probably reporting on that because no doubt she'll have a good finish there. But yeah, she did win first stage, and definitely somebody to watch for. As far as a future LPGA Tour player in Canada. Now they'll go to the Q Series is the next event that they go to. And there'll be some other Canadians that will join Savannah there, including Elena Sharp, in trying to up their status on the LPGA
Right.
Tour. And then I'll mention it now just because it links in. I know we've got the item a little bit further down, but Selena, who obviously played well on the Epson Tour. She's actually representing Canada with Elena Sharp down to the Pan Am Games.
Nice.
With the Pan Am Games actually are underway already. Canada's doing quite well in the medals, but the golf portion starts on November 2nd. They're taking place in Santiago, Chile. The Canadian men's team is Miles Creighton from Nova Scotia and Etienne Papineau from Quebec, a former Tunis winner. Etienne's a great guy, and stay in touch with him a fair bit. And so good luck to Team Canada down there in Chile, and we'll follow that, especially on our X account.
Okay. World Team Championships got going on in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, the obviously the men, the World Amateur Team Championships established a number of years ago, and there really it is really a team event, even though they do have you know, an individual competition. As they say, there's actually no recognition for it, but the Canadian men kind of struggled a bit. It was kind of surprising. So they already played this. They played last week. They finished in a tie for 17th, which, you know, obviously for the world is still pretty strong. The team was Ashton McCullough, who's you know, from Kingston down here, plays for Michigan State. Brady McKinley, who's from Alberta, who plays at Utah Valley State, and Pearson Hunt, who originally is from Calgary and then moved down to Wisconsin. He's actually the nephew of Barry Forth, the owner at Copetown Woods, and he plays for Illinois, but he struggled a little bit, which, you know, contributed to Team Canada finishing 17th. The women are playing right now. As we speak, they're just finishing up their third round in Abu Dhabi. Super talented team we've got down there. Monet Chun, who's plays for Michigan. Katie Cranston, who's at Auburn. I think Auburn, and Lauren Kim, who's the University of Texas. And Lauren actually just won a week ago or so an NCAA tournament. They're T7 after day 3. They're at 8 under. They're going to need a low one if they're going to kind of get onto the podium there, but I would not be surprised. These are 3 very talented golfers. So yeah, good to see that. And Slima Masani is with them as the coach. You remember Selima from winning at the Ottawa Hunt back in the day on the old CP Women's Tour. Shot 66 back in the day to win an event back there. But she's the Stollery head women's coach for Team Canada, and she's with them along with Emily Phoenix, their high performance manager.
Nice.
Yeah. Lots going on.
A lot of stuff going on. The Champions Tour.
Yeah.
The Shaw Classic will take place, just making an announcement here. The Shaw Classic will take place at Canyon Meadows Golf and Country Club in Calgary on August the 12th, the 18th. The date this event has raised more than 93 million.
Yeah.
For over 270 children and youth charities in Alberta. This is a phenomenal event for a very long time, and that's a lot of money raised.
It definitely is. And I don't think enough people in Canada pay enough attention to it. And I think that's partly due to the fact it is in Alberta. But the fact that we do have this, you know, this Champions Tour event, you know, Ken Duke was the winner this year, who, you know, obviously played the Canadian Tour back in the day. But the fact that they've raised this much money for charity, you know, kudos to them for sure. And it's going to be a big year for Calgary with them back there. CPKC Women's Open, which will be the 50th playing of it, even though it started in 73. Obviously, we had a little bit of a break with COVID, so it will be the 50th playing. So they just debuted their 50th anniversary logo today, and it will be played in Calgary next year as well. So big summer for golf fans in Calgary for sure.
Awesome. Now, sad news.
Yeah.
Sad news coming from the Open Championship. The longtime starter for the Open Championship for over 40 years, Ivor Robson, has passed away.
Yeah. Obviously people are pretty familiar with his voice and him calling, and his legendary you know, I'm not you know, taking a bathroom break. I'll start the you know, the proceedings and then just continue all the way through. And you know, I think for a lot of people he's pretty synonymous with the Open. You know, it just his voice. And I mean, so many players, they just remember, you know, he's a kind man and you know, just did this job for so long, and people are so used to their voice for just kind of a generation. I mean, what are your thoughts kind of on that? I mean, obviously he's an integral part of the Open for sure.
That's legendary. I mean, you know, when a person, like, how many other events on the PGA Tour, majors or otherwise, longtime events where the starter is that iconic?
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It
I'm
doesn't
sure
really
there's
happen.
events on the
Yeah.
PGA Tour where there's a starter that's been doing it,
Oh, yeah.
but I don't know. I
No,
mean,
but the thing is,
his voice, the
yeah.
event,
Yeah, he's
and
got a worldwide stage, right? I mean,
yeah,
that's the difference is, you're talking about the Open. So I mean, there's so much of an exposure to that. And on top of that, once we got to the social media era, his voice basically became a meme, and a whole lot of people, started to impersonate it. And
yeah.
they've even had players, videos with players trying to impersonate his starting his voice. And there's a lot of nice tributes to him, especially on social media by a number of the players. So, that was kind of good to see as well. So,
I
I,
guarantee with my voice the way it is right now, I couldn't even
well, you're kind of
come
modulating. You go
close.
low and then you go high.
Yeah.
I got three more little quick things that I didn't get in there, but I'm
Oh,
going to
that's all
rip
right.
through them
Yeah, we got
really
time.
fast here. Again, if people want to go to flagstick.com and see the details of that, just the Jamaican Open is starting this weekend. We got 11 Canadians playing in that, including Lee Curry from Camelot. He's down there playing in that event. That's a long-standing event. Always been a lot of Canadians play that. No Canadians ever won it, but that's happening for the 56th time. So that gets started on Sunday coming up. And then a couple of quick things as well. Have a look on our website. There is a book coming out. It's a 25th anniversary edition. It's one of Lauren Rubenstein's best books. He managed to tell me this was happening when we played earlier this year at Hamilton. He's got a special release of A Season in Dornoch that's coming out. And last things last, really, really local here. It's nice to see golf courses sharing news of things like extensions for superintendents. So we which was great to see.
I saw that one. It's good.
Yeah, thanks to Greg Burney and just extending the news that their superintendent's contract had been extended through 2019. If you want to hear some details on Ben, because I don't know Ben Zlotnick, who's there. He's been there for the last 2 years. We've never met, but I was very interested to go back and look through his history of where he'd been and where he'd worked. So, if you want the full details of that, it is up on flagstick.com. So, yeah, lots happening constantly on social, it seems, right now.
Yeah.
Tons of news and things happening, and then obviously trying to put together lots of other content for some other things as well. So got some product reviews coming up, holiday gift guides coming up. Just
Here's the season.
It is. It
is
is
the season.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Ben.
Well, I think we should take a quick break. Before we do, just want to remind everybody that we still have the contest for subscribers.
That's right.
For the Xander Schauffele autographed hat. We have a Flagstick Digest newsletter. There it is. For those watching on YouTube, there's the hat. For those listening on other platforms, he's holding the hat. Just remind you that we have free Flagstick Digest newsletter that you can sign up for at flagstick.com. News, information, more direct to your inbox. A few more weeks, and we're going to make that draw. And you might win that Xander Schauffele autographed hat.
Your head was down. Your head was
no,
down.
I noticed you did.
Disappeared.
I was looking. I was trying to avoid the but you know what?
I'm sorry.
What is it? This stuff happens.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, there was a temporary technical difficulties where Scott's face became Scott McLeod, the word.
Yeah.
All right. We got to take a break though. And when we come back, we're going to have Scott's interview with Michelle Mulligan from Adidas Golf. And I think you'll like that. So stay with us. You're listening to the Flagstick podcast with Jeff Botter and Scott McLeod.
The Canadian Pro Shop Online has all the best gear for Canadian golfers. Amazing prices on all the top brands in one place. The latest drivers, irons, putters, and more. The Canadian Pro Shop Online is the best gear to help you play your best golf. Shop online today at CanadianProShopOnline.com.
Well, welcome back to the Flagstick podcast with Jeff Botter and Scott McLeod. We're happy to be with you after a week off. And as we promised, Scott, we have an interview with you to play for you that Scott did with Michelle Mulligan from Adidas Golf on this back nine, presented this week by Falcon Ridge Golf Course. Another outdoor golf season may be ending, but that doesn't mean another indoor golf season doesn't begin. So here we go with indoor golf season, featuring 4 state-of-the-art TrackMan simulators. Falcon Ridge is open and ready to extend your golf season well into the spring. Visit falconridgegolf.ca for more information or to book your tee time.
Yeah, and there's a lot of great golf courses on there, a lot of new ones
that
are coming on there. I played
like 150 plus golf courses.
Oh, keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going, dude.
Does it depend on, I'm not a TrackMan aficionado. You'd think I would be with all the knowledge that I should have on this, but there's different packages that you get, right? Like,
no. So basically what's happened with TrackMan is that we pay a one-time yearly fee, and the yearly fee includes every golf course. So anytime there's a new golf course, so there's about 280 now.
I saw one that you just posted up there on social media. It's like, that's like, I'm looking at that going, come on.
Yeah, Lofoten Links in Norway, which obviously a lot of people are talking about. So it was just added, and I will sneak as we discuss doing this interview with Michelle Mulligan at Cabot Cape Breton. Keep an eye for maybe a few of the Cabot properties coming up on TrackMan as well. Little Birdie has told me that they could be in some rendering process right now, and then we could have
can you imagine
a bunch of the Cabot properties on there. So yeah,
can you imagine that?
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm sure you are.
But yeah,
I do have access to many TrackMan simulators if I want. I just I don't have ready access in my garage. So like some people.
Yeah, but you know what? Some great products, great golf courses, some new games and stuff as well. So the other fun thing that people should look out for at some of the indoor places, if they've got TrackMan, is the some of the different games, especially for kids and stuff. They've got a new one called Junkyard or Scrapyard. They've got all sorts of little fun stuff where they even mini putt on there now. So there's lots of different things. So it's not just, die hard, hardcore, let's play the hardest championship golf courses in the world. I play a lot of little par 3 golf courses sometimes. So just for fun, just to hit shots. I'm not exactly doing a lot of putting on TrackMan. So.
Not really. No. All right.
Okay, dude.
Let us get to the interview with the Senior Manager Global Apparel from Adidas Golf, Michelle Mulligan. This is an interview that Scott did with Michelle out at Cape Breton, the aforementioned, during a product release media testing session.
Yeah.
Okay, enough about me. The interview, Michelle Mulligan, here on the Flagstick podcast.
Okay, we're here with Michelle Mulligan at Cabot Cape Breton, enjoying ourselves here in a beautiful environment, but also a great environment to test out some of the great new products the company is launching here with the Fleece Fairways event. Why don't you explain a little bit about the history of this product line that's being introduced right now and kind of what's gone into it from a history perspective?
Well, believe it or not, this started 2 years ago. So we did a lot of market research, consumer research, really kind of dove into what the golf consumer is looking for, especially in extreme weather conditions. Adidas Golf headquarters being in San Diego, we don't really deal with the elements, so we really had to go above and beyond and really figure out what the golf consumer wants when golfing in extreme weather conditions.
So when you're looking to do the line, is it a case of, okay, we have to blow up, start from scratch, or do you kind of adopt some of maybe the great things that you've done in the past and said, we're going to carry that over and we're going to add some other elements to it?
Exactly. Like we take the key features that are working really well. For example, DWR, it's a must-have. Stretch, must-have. Function. But then we kind of added in some new Primaloft Gold into the new Frost Guard line, lightweight fill that's water resistant, waterproof, and then also this really great stretch nylon that wicks moisture in addition to DWR to kind of help the rain elements beat off the garment.
And for you, I mean, when you're looking at golf specifically as a sport, what are the challenges that golf provides that's a little bit different than maybe some of the other other sports that maybe Adidas addresses in some of their other products?
Sure. Playing in the cold, right? Like everyone wants to stay warm, so we added features to keep the body warm, in addition to cold ready and fleece, and just also, I keep reiterating stretch, but it's all about stretch and being able to function when you're golfing.
When you look through now, especially golfers are changing, especially the demographics change.
Yes.
How are you looking at that differently? I mean, you're saying you're doing market research, but are you looking at now that golfer is got different needs, and are you dipping into maybe some other fashion, other industries,
Yes.
other things to look for hints and clues of maybe what they're going to like, especially now that they're become golfers?
Yes, especially due to the pandemic.
Yes.
A lot of golfers came to the community, and we have a lot of newbies, people that just like to go to the range. Some people are just still dabbling, going out to the course, but we're seeing that fashion element where more trending styles, oversized looks are coming back, just really bringing fashion to the course. So we also tried to implement that within the range.
And how challenging is that with the fact that from a worldwide perspective, fashion trends are much
Yes,
different across
yes.
all different continents. So how do you bring that into it? And in some ways, do you say, okay, we're going to do that because people are doing it, or let's lead and let's go try to set the trend?
Yeah, we're trying to set the trends with different segmentation within our range. Yes, we have our core range that you can find your basics, but we're also trying to push within elements of our range, offering more advanced and trendy silhouettes.
And changes as well. I said about the golfers are changing, but the industry is changing as well. Retailers are changing. People that are selling it. How do you educate the retailers so that they can really maybe tell the story of your product a little bit better, so make it more appealing to the consumers?
Yeah, that's first and foremost, because if the retailer doesn't understand where we're coming from, it's going to get lost in the consumer. So we really try to dive in with our key technologies throughout, not even just golf, but that the brand is offering, so it's a more cohesive story, in addition to just really showcasing just our storytell with education.
And when we start to look at that, like I said, as far as trends or so forth, colorways and so forth, how does that come into play as far as golf? Golfers have tended to be very conservative in the past.
Sure.
How do you again sort of push that so you get that sense of, okay, there's things that are trendy, but maybe here's some things that is our personality as a company and that should be in those elements.
Yes, for sure. We'll always have black, blue, the reds, but the brand in Germany actually gives us these really great color options and key stories that the brand will use as a whole. So we'll pull actually key, just really bright, vivid colors that are specific to golf, just to make it more fun and wearable on the course.
Now, as I said, we're here at Cabot Cape Breton. It's a very inspirational place as far as going out and being there, and you got a chance to play yesterday on the Cliffs course. How does being at a place like this, which again, golf is all outdoors, with the exception of obviously indoor simulators, all that sort of things, but how does a place like this play into your own inspirations when you see this, things that you can take back to maybe the team and talk about?
Yeah, for sure. Wind, cold, it was unbelievable the other day golfing. So just kind of watching, observing, wearing the product, feeling, oh, I probably shouldn't have worn this piece because the wind is coming right through, but just taking back and just almost even targeting more with technologies as we start up the new seasons.
And another aspect that I think is growing a lot, and I talked to some of the team about it. We talked about the women's market and the massive growth in that, and how important that is to give the due attention to the products that are there.
Yes.
How often does that come to mind, and how often are you kind of going, okay, we need to tackle this in different ways because we're looking at different industries, different needs that are much different than probably what some of the men are wanting to wear on the golf course.
Right. Yes, it's on our minds every single day at the office. The women's market is changing drastically. Wearing just a skirt in a polo is not cutting it anymore. You're seeing pleated pants being brought in, vests, women really want to identify with their own personal style to bring out to the golf course. So we're really trying to implement those kind of aspects within the range to the women's range.
And how does maybe some feedback that you get by observing things that are happening in like social media trends and so forth, how does that play into that role as far as, you know, those selections, as far as the directions you want to take things?
Yeah, definitely. Like bringing up pleated pants, like women would not be caught dead in pleated pants a couple years ago, and now it's all you're seeing on social media. We'll be seeing some sneak peeks of pleats coming into the women's range in the future, but it definitely does inspire us and kind of gravitate our range in a different way moving forward.
And how do you go about sort of sharing that story for women golfers and letting them know that, you know, you have great products and they
Yes.
are out there, and that, you know, you're just not going to go to the store and end up with, you know, one shirt and one skirt and that's all you
Yes.
sell. How do you get to them and get to share that story and make it, you know, as powerful as the product is?
For sure. We partner with our ambassadors in addition to our athletes, just to really show that the garments that we are creating that look very fashion forward do stretch and move with you and are absolutely perform for golf.
Awesome, thank you. Congratulations, wonderful line.
Awesome. Thank you, Scott.
Looking forward to testing more of it for
Yeah.
sure, and sharing it with other people.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. She certainly knows her stuff.
Yeah, she does. Lovely lady. It was great to meet her and get to spend time with her and explore, you know, lots of different things, as people saw there, talking about fashion trends, how they get their inspirations. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, and I think it's neat when we're able to have interviews like this. People get to see sort of the story behind the products. They always think of another pair of, you know, rain pants or a vest or a jacket, and they're just like, yeah, whatever. But they don't really know the story behind it. And when they get to meet the people behind it like this and see what it's all about, I think it adds a whole new texture to the products. So,
Well, there certainly is a method to the madness. It's not
Mhm.
it's not really just a case of making another shirt or another jacket and putting it in the market from the standpoint. There really is a thought that goes into it, an improvement process that goes into it to build something better than
Mhm.
the previous version of that product or something new. There's always new materials I can't
Yeah.
imagine how much time they spend studying and researching materials
Yeah.
just to be able to make, you know, clothing
Yeah.
that suits a certain purpose.
Yeah, for sure. And Chase Aronson, who's their senior manager for product development, we actually did an interview with him as well, and that will be appear up on our YouTube page, kind of separately, coming up in the next little while. But I think people, you know, they don't see the difference really in fashion. A lot of people are so used to fast fashion these days, but you got to remember, a lot of the things that are products, you know, that are drop shipped, and you know, maybe they're just built by a brand and they're just put out there. A lot of them are just, you know, taken out of open stock from, you know, production plants and stuff like this. It's a way different world when you get into the big major manufacturers and the process that they go through to develop and create these materials and pick out the color palettes and go through exactly as Michelle explained there. These decisions are not taken on lightly when you're talking about, you know, companies that do billions and billions of dollars in business. They seriously study this to make sure that it's going to have success. So there's a lot of thought put into it, and you know, you see it in the products as well. And you know, we'll have some reviews up on some of the products that I was able to test down there kind of in the next little while. But you know, it's just the little thoughtful things that make a difference, and they make this product stand out.
Well, there you go.
You made
No
it through.
shortage of interesting stuff happening here on the Flagstick podcast. That is for sure.
Lots more to come too.
Oh, and there will be. Yeah, you might think that just because the golf season is ending that we won't have much to talk about. You couldn't be more wrong.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that we can talk about throughout the off season. We'll call it the indoor season.
Yeah.
Can't really call golf an off season anymore, eh?
No,
There's
not
the
really.
indoor and the outdoor season. And I think because of the way indoor golf has become,
Mm-hmm.
indoor golf is kind of like taking on a whole animal of
Life
its
of its
own.
own.
It's a life
Yeah.
of its own. Yeah. Like, I mean, the outdoor season ends and it's just, it's not even a transition anymore.
No, it used to be back in the day. I mean, people would just, put away their golf clubs. Like at the end of the year, they take their
Yeah.
clubs, they put them up in the garage or whatever, and hey, we'll see you maybe in May. That's
And
not the
sometimes these
case.
indoor golf schools wouldn't even open for business until after Christmas, like into
Right.
January.
Right.
Now it's like, forget it. I mean, as soon as well, Falcon Ridge is open
Right.
now. I mean,
Yeah,
they
exactly.
were open while the golf course was still open. They made
Yeah.
the announcement that they were open. So their transition is instant.
Yeah.
The golf course closes, everything else is open. That pro shop is open.
Yep.
The bar and restaurant is open.
Yep.
These simulators are now open. So
Yep.
their golf season just went from not playing outside to playing indoors,
Mhm.
and nothing else changed.
Yeah, we're going to see more of that. I mean, more facilities are obviously adding different amenities that they can do, outside of the normal golf calendar, and that's just going to continue. And the proliferation of simulators is definitely going to push that. I know there's a golf course in Iceland that's got 16 simulators already right now. I mean, we're going to see golf courses that basically end up with the same amount of capacity indoors as they do outdoors. It's bound to happen. It really is. I mean, it's just if you look over in Korea, and I think we've talked about it on the podcast before, more people play screen golf in Korea than they do outdoor golf.
Excuse me.
So it's just become more common, and as people as the concept is proven, and it has been, then now you see the golf courses invest in that, and they're able to keep their staff for the year.
That's key.
That is key.
Super
And
key.
yeah, they can run their food and beverage, as you said, transition to maybe some Christmas or holiday parties and stuff like that or whatever, but still service the members, because not all the members are going south. They're not going away, and they want to do something golf related, and they want to do it at their golf course or golf club, if not facilities outside of that. But yeah, people now are thinking about the golf all year long.
Well, it's funny because I was actually talking with my son Brandon this morning about, on the way I've taken him to school this morning, talking about Falcon Ridge and talking about their setup for indoor
Right.
golf.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting how their setup, their clubhouse,
It's perfect.
is so perfectly set
I
up
know.
for this, because the pro shop and the food and beverage area with the kitchen
Mhm.
and the banquet area where they have their simulators set up in are completely separate from one another. So
Yeah.
they can still host small Christmas
Mhm.
parties, Christmas
Yep.
gatherings in the lounge where the fireplace and the bar and everything is in, and still have those 4 simulators running completely separate, and have
Yeah.
the pro shop open and running for business too.
Yep.
Like everything is it's just so perfectly set up. They don't have to put the simulators inside the restaurant,
Mhm.
and use up space in there. It is such a great setup for it, and I'm so glad
Yeah.
to see that they've got four TrackMan sims in there this year, and that's going to be great for everybody. They're going to be packed full all winter long.
I believe so.
Simple.
100%. Yeah.
Well, Scott, I'd love to continue to talk,
Yeah, but you got
but
no voice left.
I am starting to feel the voice get really, really tired.
And I need
think
to practice. I need to go practice. I got a
yeah,
tournament tomorrow.
You got a tournament tomorrow. You got a tournament tomorrow. I just whatever. I mean, I used to do this whole fall golf scramble thing. I think the
Yeah.
last time I did it was I think you and Tony Harris and I played the cat scramble one year. I think it was the
Oh,
three of us
yeah.
played. I think it was
Oh,
a
yeah,
long
we
time
did.
ago, but
That
we
was a
did.
long
I
time
remember you hold out on 17
Yeah.
for an eagle, and we thought that was going to be a big skin, and then Big Ferg goes
Yep.
and dumps one right in on top of it
Yeah.
in behind us, and it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and I mean, when it comes to skins and scrambles,
They count.
an eagle on 17 at cat, that's a good, it used to be.
Yeah.
Now I think they probably get sawed off all the time.
No, it would be. And we played the cat scramble 2 weeks ago, or I played with Gavin Robertson and Kenny Thompson from Accra PGMC True Temper, and that's our usual team, and we're playing obviously tomorrow at Black Bear, and we didn't play that great, but all the skins got cut, and they ended up paying out eagles, and we had an eagle on 16. Of course, other guys that were playing with us chipped in for eagle, so they got a little piece of that too. But still, I mean, it makes a difference if you're not going to win anything out of the overall pot.
Get
At
some
least
skinage.
get some skins and help kind of take care of the entry fees and stuff like that. So
what's funny is when you just mentioned that you were playing with Gavin and Kenny, and then you mentioned Acra Golf, and then you went all NASCAR on me there for about.
I know.
Seconds.
It's because they have so many brands. I'm sorry.
It's like my.
I didn't even get into all the brands. Yeah.
The Kodiak the Kodiak Pontiac was running really good today. And
well, the funny part for them is they're the Premium Golf Management Company. The PGMC was the original name of their company, and then they bought Acra golf shafts. They developed golf shafts.
That was Gavin and Dave shafts. Back in the
right. Yeah. And then they basically made Acra. And then, so people knew it as Acra, even though the formal business name was PGMC. And then they were bought by True Temper a number of years ago. So they sort of became True Temper Plus at that point. And, we kind of think them as True Temper North, whatever. So there's a million names that you could use for them. But yeah, good guys. Actually, Kenny's been on the pod or one of the other podcasts. But yeah,
that was a while ago.
They're fun dudes. So All
right. All right. Well, that's good. All right. Well, I'll let you go practice, and I'm going to go rest. And I've got some editing and stuff to do here to get this up and running. Obviously, want to thank our sponsors, Metcalf Golf Club, Falcon Ridge Golf Course, and of course, our presenting sponsor this week, Canadian Pro Shop Online, with amazing prices on all the latest brand name golf equipment, all in one convenient location online. It's never been easier to upgrade your game, whether it's drivers, irons, putters, or whatever your golf game needs. The Canadian Pro Shop Online has the best gear to help you play your best golf. Shop online today at CanadianProShopOnline.com. Thank you to Michelle Mulligan for doing the interview with Scott and providing us with some good back nine content. Truly, we do hope that you're enjoying hearing the podcast, listening to the podcast, watching it on YouTube if you so choose to do so. Be sure to follow us across all social media networks, Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok. Subscribe on Spotify, Audible, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like us and click the notification bell. Make sure that you never miss a single episode ever. And be sure to get over to flagstick.com, sign up for the newsletter, have a chance to win that Xander Schauffele autographed ball cap, and you're going to find even more amazing golf content on that website delivered every single day. So as always, we do appreciate you tuning in. But until next week, I am Jeff Botter.
I'm Scott McLeod.
Remember, always go for the stick.